When you look at what Brock Purdy was able to do, Brock Purdy has separated himself from Dak Prescott. Brock Purdy has separated himself from Tua Tagovailoa. Brock Purdy has separated himself from guys like Kirk Cousins, from guys like Justin Herbert. He was asked in the most pressurized moment to be the best he could possibly be. And you know what magnifying glasses do, right? Think about this, huh? You in the club, right? You vibing, and she got on makeup, you know what I'm saying? She got her good weave in, her good wig on, and then the lights come on, right? You know what the lights do? The lights show the imperfections, right? Some of them scatter, and some of them walk closer to you. When they were looking for Brock Purdy's imperfections, he got closer to him. Brock Purdy became more of himself. He used his legs. He played above the X's and O's. Brock Purdy, in my opinion, if I'm looking at those two games Saturday, Brock Purdy did what we would have expected Lamar Jackson to do. Brock Purdy trusted himself.
We agree with
Brock Purdy put the football where it was supposed to be. Brock Purdy won the football game. Down 17.
Look, I have a ton of respect for Ryan Clark as an NFL analyst, but this take right here simply feels like overcompensating. After getting a ton of heat for essentially dismissing Brock Purdy and completely disregarding him in the ranks of the upper echelon quarterbacks, saying that the hardest thing for him to do all season was acting like Brock Purdy was on the same level as some of the top tier guys in the league.
I'm about to make a confession. The single hardest thing I had to do this year was act like Brock Purdy deserved to be in the conversations with the other people we're mentioning in that tweet. Because he was playing extremely well and operating in that offense and distributing the ball to Kittle and Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk, we had to continue to include him in conversations with the Lamar Jacksons. We had to continue to include him in conversations with the Josh Allen. Those things are not alike. Brock Purdy is a fine player. Brock Purdy can operate in Kyle Shanahan's offense at an extremely efficient level. Brock Purdy doesn't raise the level of play of anyone around him.
Now, all of a sudden, after one game in which, again, he wasn't very impressive, he was overthrowing guys, threw an interception, a couple of other picks, didn't get capitalized on by the defense of the Detroit Lions, and he put together one decent drive with his legs and the assistance of a lucky 51-yard pass. And all of a sudden, Brock Purdy is one of the best quarterbacks in the league. All of a sudden, Brock Purdy is a better quarterback than All-Pro Dak Prescott. He's a better quarterback than the prodigy, Justin Herbert. All of a sudden, after one singular game, Brock Purdy has risen up the ranks because Ryan Clark got absolutely destroyed last week when he said what he said about Brock Purdy. Let's be honest. The 49er fan base is extremely loud and extremely large. They probably tore Ryan Clark a new one, so he had to come back and backtrack his statements a little bit. And now we're getting into some murky territory because, again, like I said, Ryan Clark is a guy I have a ton of respect for. I really enjoy his work, and I feel like he tries to be objective when he's talking about the game. But now you're getting into a territory where you have now admitted that, for one, you were essentially peddling BS all season long. You didn't even truly believe some of the stuff that you were saying as it pertains to a Brock Purdy and trying to put him on the same level as some of the upper echelon quarterbacks. Now it's getting to a point to where, Ryan, can we really believe everything that you're saying? Or is it just dependent upon the platform that you're on that day? It seems like anybody that comes across First Take, whether they're a reputable analyst or not, they conform to the dirt sheet style model of this particular program. Ryan Clark is one of the latest to suffer this same fate. And the strange part about it is he chose a really weird time to go ahead and make this grand proclamation. If you actually take a look at how this game turned and when the 49ers made their comeback, Brock Purdy only contributed a 20-yard scramble and a 50-yard Hail Mary bomb that honestly should have been intercepted, but Brandon Ayuk and his amazing concentration was able to make that play happen. That is the only reasons that Brock Purdy and the 49ers came back. In fact, if we take an even closer look at this, since you want to put him over people like a Dak Prescott or a Justin Herbert, we're going to focus on Dak. I don't really care about Justin Herbert. If you want to put him over Dak Prescott because of him being able to bring his team back, quote unquote, even though I'm pretty sure I saw Deebo Samuels take 5 and 7 yard passes 20 yards down the field. I'm pretty sure I saw Jawan Jennings have to make a freak of nature type of catch because Brock Purdy, again, threw the ball across his body, which almost resulted in an interception. I'm pretty sure I've seen Brandon Ayuk making big plays. I'm pretty sure I seen Christian McCaffrey running like a man on a mission. I'm pretty sure I seen several other all-pros, pro bowlers, and high-level skill players on that 49er side of the field, defense and offense, contribute to them coming back. This is my issue. Wins are not a quarterback statistic. If you take a look at how this comeback ensued, first of all, let's look at some comparisons between the Packers game and the Cowboys game and the Lions game and the 49ers game, since everyone is probably going to bring up, oh, well, Brock Purdy made it to the Super Bowl. He made it to the NFC. He won the NFC Championship. He's winning games. The 49ers, as a team, are winning games. The comeback started in the third quarter. The 49ers went into halftime down 24-7. The Cowboys went into halftime down 27-7 against the Green Bay Packers. Only a 3-point difference there. Not a huge difference. Guess what? Both teams got the ball back after halftime. Guess what both teams did after they got the ball back after halftime? They both scored a field goal. The 49ers went down the field in roughly about 4 minutes, scored a field goal. The Cowboys went down the field in roughly about 5.5 minutes and scored a field goal. You know what happened on the very next possession for both teams? And this is truly the difference. The very next possession, the 49ers got the ball back because their defense generated a turnover by way of a fumble. Guess what that fumble led into? Points. Touchdown for the 49ers. Too bad the Cowboys couldn't score a touchdown so they can keep themselves in the game and prepare for a comeback. Actually, they did. The problem was Green Bay scored a touchdown every time they touched the ball in the third quarter. They scored a touchdown every time, bro. How are you supposed to come back if the other team is literally scoring at will anytime they touch the ball? Even when our offense actually got the ball back, they scored a touchdown actually. But guess what? Green Bay scored a touchdown right after that. Whereas you can look at the 49er game, you can see the Lions didn't even sniff the end zone in the third quarter. In the third quarter, the Lions didn't even get a chance to put up any points. This is what made the comeback possible, guys. Defense. That defense deciding to show up and not resting on their laurels and not just essentially giving up is what made that game possible for the 49ers to come back. After that, the plays that needed to be made were made. I don't want to take anything away from Brock Purdy. To me, Brock Purdy is like a top 10 quarterback. But I think it's just getting absolutely ridiculous that we're at a point where sports media, where every single game, after every single contest, we have to move someone up or down a ranking. Why can't we just watch the sport? Let Brock Purdy actually show us who he is as a quarterback. Still to this day, we have no clue what and who Brock Purdy truly is as a quarterback in NFL because he's being masked by that system that he's playing in San Francisco. He's being masked by all of the amazing players that he's surrounded by in San Francisco. We have seen on several different occasions now when any of those players go out, Brock Purdy looks completely different. Even in the game last week against the Packers for the 49ers, Brock Purdy didn't look good when Deebo Samuel went out. So again, why are we anointing guys after every single game? Comparison is the thief of joy. We don't have to constantly make this a comparison. And on top of that, Ryan Clark, you're not slick, bro. I get it. You're a savvy media member. You know exactly what to do to get clicks and attention to any segment. And you did this one in a very, very slick way. There was no reason for you to bring up Dak Prescott's name. I'm willing to guarantee you, Kyle Shanahan would trade for Justin Herbert or Dak Prescott at the drop of a dime if it meant replacing Brock Purdy. I'm willing to guarantee you that. Everyone is going to watch this video that hate the Cowboys are going to sit there and try to disagree. But if you really sit back and think about it, you know damn well Kyle Shanahan would much rather prefer having a quarterback like a Justin Herbert or a Dak Prescott over Brock Purdy. There was a reason Brock Purdy was drafted last in the draft. But that's beyond the fact. Again, I don't want to make this a thing about bashing Brock Purdy, because this is another situation in which the media is forcing people to dislike these players. People genuinely don't have an actual reason to dislike Josh Allen the way that they do, but everyone is preying on his downfall because people like Tony Romo, Chris Collinsworth, Dan Orlovsky, Sean O'Hara, and all these other guys that resemble Josh Allen go out of their way to over-exaggerate and overhype what he is as an NFL quarterback. But see, this is what happens when the media is trying to tell you who's great, who's good, who's the best, versus just allowing everybody to watch the game, watch the results, watch how things play out, watch how the players are playing, and then let everyone decide for themselves. Now, the media wants to determine who's the next up, who's the golden child, who's going to take over the mantle, and they've been pushing this Josh Allen agenda for a long time. Now, because Brock Purdy made it to the Super Bowl with a team that also made it to the Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo and almost won a Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo at the helm against Patrick Mahomes, now they're going to make it seem like Brock Purdy is on his way to becoming some amazing Hall of Fame quarterback, when at the end of the day, no one really even knows what this dude is right now, man. He has too many players around him that's going to make him look extremely good. But either way, man, appreciate you guys for tuning in. Y'all know how we have to end these videos now. We still them same old damn Cowboys. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Take it away, Pastor.
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still in ball? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still in boys. Hey! Woo! Hey! I'm still in boys.